I want to take you back. Fourth quarter, 4 minutes to go. South Carolina's 4th and 12. They decide to kick the field goal. What was your immediate reaction? Did you hate the call, love the call? I'm curious to know, what was your thought process when they decided to kick the field goal? You go down 4. You're basically saying, we're going to lean on our defense with 3 timeouts, try to get the football back and go win the game. What was your thoughts on that?
I hated it. I know via social media that you liked it, so let's argue.
Well, and so here's the thing. It's not like I loved it. I understood it. And here's what I'll say. If it was 4th and 2, if it was 4th and 4, like if it was 4th and manageable, I would say I would have hated it. But this is just the way I viewed it, because you have to believe in your defense. I mean, you just have to. You really do. That's what I think, at least. I think you have to believe in your defense. If you believe in these guys, and you got to believe, but you have all 3 timeouts. To me, it would have been much more demoralizing had you gone down the field, went for it, and not got it and got nothing out of the drive, and then had to stop them. Then at least you get 3, and you have the opportunity to stop Tennessee and get the ball back. And it's not like the NFL where the clock's going to run. If you get a first down, the clock's going to stop. So you have a minute and a half is a long time in college football. So even with no timeouts, if they'd have went for it, I wouldn't have hated the call. I mean, obviously, I love being aggressive, but I guess I just acknowledge that 4th and 12, man, you're probably not going to get it anyways. So, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it did technically work. I mean, you were going to get the ball back, if not for the blunder on the punt. But I understand both sides of it. I'll say that. I mean, I'm not one of these people trying to argue, because I know there are some that this is the only way or this is the right way. I totally see it from your side, because I think the biggest problem with it, it's just so Muschamp. It's so conservative. You know what I'm saying? It fits him so well to kick a field goal down 7 with 4 minutes left. It's like a field goal, you feel like at that point does you no good. But I understand it saying, hey, we're going to cash in on 3. We have all 3 timeouts. We're going to lean on our defense. I had a bigger issue with calling a timeout after an 8-yard run on first down, mismanaging that whole situation after Tennessee had gotten the ball. But again, because you would think I'd be all over Muschamp for that, but I really wasn't. I was like, I understand the call. I think I could justify it being the right play in that situation.
So my rebuttal back to you would be, what did you gain by kicking the field goal?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So what yard line? You were like the 30, correct? I think you're like Tennessee's 30 in that scenario?
Correct.
Okay, so again, if you get the 4th and 12, then you're right. It's the greatest call of all time. If you don't get it, they start at the 30 and you have 3 timeouts and you're down 7 and have to make a stop. Instead, you kick it off and they start at the 25 and you're down 4 and you have so I mean, I guess you gain that if you get the ball, you can go win versus tie it. I mean here again, my biggest thing, Alex, is I just don't think you're going to get it anyways. It's 4th and 12. Like, it's not 4th and 3. You know what I mean? Like, if it's 4th and 6 or shorter, you go for it. If you want to really argue, here's where the big problem is. Why do you run a screenplay on 3rd and 15? I mean, get yourself into 4th and
I can't talk about that.
Yeah, get yourself into a 4th and manageable where you can really justify going for it. Because again, to me, on 4th and 12, you're just so limited as far as options are concerned. I mean, to your point, I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying, because in the long run, guess what? You lost the game anyways. I mean, it didn't. In that scenario, you could have said, you know what, screw it, we're going to go win or loss right here. We're not going to put it in the defense's hands, because we know we haven't stopped Tennessee tonight. So,
well, it's not even really saying screw it, we're going to win or lose this right here, because you're really putting yourself in the exact same situation of, like, if you don't get it, okay, well, we got to stop them. We got 3 timeouts, and then we just have to go score. So the only thing it changed mathematically was, if we get the ball back, which is again why I wouldn't have kicked it there, because there's no guarantee you get it back.
Right.
You're gonna win if you can go down and score, because and then again you could be facing a 4th and 12 from that scenario too. So It's just really like, you're not saying you don't have faith in the defense or anything like that. It's just like, okay, well, we've got 3 timeouts. We go for this. We think we're gonna get another shot. other than, all right, let's kick the field goal here. It just, statistically speaking, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think it's just even more maximized because it's Muschamp making the call, and it's just so on brand. It's so on brand for him to be conservative. And I mean, what was it last year? Again, and this is a completely different scenario, but what was it last year against Texas A&M? You're down like 31-0, and you kick a field goal. I mean, just it's so on brand for Muschamp to be conservative, and it's a defensive-minded head coach perspective. I mean, that's what a DC would do. An OC would go for it. A DC kicks the field goal, leans on his defense. So I think, honestly, the decision, I'm much harder on the decision if Tennessee just ran the clock out and South Carolina wasn't going to get an opportunity, because I was like, well, I mean, it kind of worked. Again, what happened, but always I can live with Carolina fans wanting South Carolina to side on the aggressive side. I get it. I mean, I always be aggressive. I can live with that. But I just thought it'd be interesting because, again, I see both sides of it. I mean, I'm not like indicting fans that thought they should have went for it. I feel, I'd have been fine with it. I really would have. I just don't think we probably get a 4th and 12.